Once upon a time a drama queen was born. Her name is Mae West, described as creamy white and blonde beauty with an hourglass figure and like a goddess of glamour and maybe controversy. The actress produced enough fascination, not just with her play that earned her a prison sentence, but in almost everywhere her name was mentioned. But a more intriguing secret shrouded her sensual appeal and courageous behaviour amidst career fame: the Milwaukee exposés. The one dark secret she almost deleted from history. But like they say, nothing is hidden under the sun. Wait until you hear her dark, deep secret revealed retrospectively. What was Mae West's dark secret unveiled after her demise? Some ladies are born great, and others achieve greatness, but Mae West is somewhere in the middle. She was a phenomenon of a kind that would not easily be forgotten in the history of American theatre shows. Mae West is one iconic lady who understood that sex, controversy, and a scandalous media report are powerful ingredients of entertainment fame, the reason she capitalized on them to achieve stardom, wealth, and anything the American entertainment industry was offering, including highly publicized civil rebuke and sensational pardon. Mae West is the kind of entertainer that even the present generation would applaud without the blink of an eye because of her braveness, creativity, and foresight that even made people like us wonder who her mentor was, if she ever had one. Like a stunning marble statue, this legendary sex symbol created and lived a career life somewhat immersed in shocking controversy, but even more shocking is that her real life was bedevilled with secrecy and deception. West may have been one of the most controversial celebs of her time, not just with issues around her career, but the jaw-dropping twists of tales about her personal life. I heard that this cute lady preferred much younger men when it came to her bedroom taste. What's my business with that? I'm as fascinated as an average Hollywood pre-code fan about the intriguing behind-the-scenes story of a woman whose history makes a good read for me any day. Her real-life issues would go for a blockbuster movie, even in contemporary Hollywood. Mae West thought she could enjoy her fame while her past remained in oblivion for eternity, but her charm and vivacious image created much imagination that made lots of people begin to ask questions and dig deep about the forgotten past, resulting in the revelation of her Milwaukee secret, which she very much wanted to stay a secret. Mae West was clearly cherished for her favourite use of the figure of speech in her productions, most of which she scripted herself, plus the double entendre that is usually sexually suggestive. No wonder she seemed to be addicted to her appearance and did not care about her reputation until her best-kept secret became a source of concern. By the mid-1930s, Mae West was among the world's ultimate sex symbols, the practical blonde bombshell of the self-styled pre-code era of Hollywood. She was the second highest earner in the United States behind William Randolph Hearst, the newspaper mogul, and the highest-paid woman at the time. Interestingly, it was at the height of this fame that hell got loose about her scandalous secret Milwaukee marriage, which she had swiftly denied until records proved her wrong. A renowned media house once described Mae West as the epitome of playfully vulgar sex, while analysing how she rose to fame and accumulated massive wealth by portraying confident and shamefully outspoken characters on stage and in movies. She was busy parading herself as a confident single lady, and her audience believed her, not knowing that she had contracted at least one marriage when she was 17 in Milwaukee, a controversial one indeed. But before this time, Mae West's lewd 1926 play Sex ensured her a jail term, even though it arguably provided her the opportunity to an easy rise to superstardom. While swimming in fame and notoriety, some of the issues Mae West had to grapple with were related to censorship, which she agreed made her millions of dollars. This is also what she meant when she said, "I believe in censorship. I made a fortune out of it." Critics say West bypassed the studio system through her creation of comics for the everyday idea of the Depression era and won the attention and admiration of a huge audience. And by the time her productions waned, West continued to exhibit creativity through her books and drama script writing, contrary to what most symbolic sex pin-ups do after their career. Because of what many have heard about West, it is natural to underestimate her talent, but make no mistake about this great lady, she wasn't just reading lines. She wrote 9 of the 13 movies that she featured in. Her effort in the industry is what the American Film Institute posthumously decided when they adjudged her the 15th greatest female screen legend of classic American cinema. But there is more to this free-spirited lady, who was massively hammered for her provocative act, even as some fans had demanded she quit vaudeville performance and concentrate on burlesque production. What caught my attention at this time about Mae West is what I called her shadiest secret, which was never revealed until after her death. The lyric was that long before Mae West's demise in 1980, when she was 87, there have been rumours of her being a man. Those who postulated the theory received inspiration in part from the drag act appeal of her screen character, but in Jill Watts' narration of Mae West's biography after her demise, Watts did not just reject the theory, but introduced shockingly a different complexion to the rumour. And what was the surreptitious about Mae West? While her death certificate, signed by a physician and the mortician, would confirm that she was a woman, and throwing into the trash can the rumour, another unfathomable underground information emerged suggesting that Mae West was really black. Mary Jane West, the lady you know as Mae West, was born in Brooklyn in 1893. She is the eldest surviving daughter of a prize fighter and a corset model. West made her earliest stage appearance as a 5-year-old girl, got a glimpse of what it means to be famous, and tried her best to consolidate a career in that direction. Years later, she told an interviewer that she cherished being in the spotlight more than anything else, adding, "I ached for the spotlight like the strongest man's arm around me." As a teenager, she was already doing the vaudeville tour, singing, dancing, and showcasing a regular flair for comedy. There were also rumours of her natural tendency towards dishonourable and the outlawed practice, not when she was often seen hanging around black juke joints, listening to stifling blues and educating herself with sexy dance moves known as the shimmy. On one occasion, while performing in a revue, West had initiated the shimmy to Broadway by ending her act with a shimmy dance. She made a comic speech in between the dance, showcasing creativity and humour. Analysts say West also had a history of modifying her lines at the time to make them hilarious and more sexy. Even when she sings, her song lyrics took the same erotic coloration. Of course, she was creating an identity for herself, not just as a performer, but so her act can fit into her assumed persona, a spirited, sexy, wisecracking woman who desired men but not marriage. Perhaps drawn by teenage emotion, West had lived through to the above persona, falling in and out of love, until she met one man who was not willing to be pushed aside. His name is Frank Wallace, and his love was strong, passionate, and persuasive. At least so it seems, because he was able to convince her to sign the marriage register to cement their union as husband and wife, though still a teenager herself. But rather than obey marital responsibility, West absconded, preferring to frolic with muscle-bound men, and even unsafe men like mobsters. You might think it's just about teenage emotion, but it's not, because she defended the practice by writing in her memoir that she would not conform to the old-fashioned limits set on a woman's freedom of action. Not much of a surprise to me, rather my curiosity comes from the fact that she has to deny ever being married when she knew that records can't be faulted. As she grew in popularity, West continued to tell her fans and everyone that cared to listen that she had always been single, and became famously known for calling marriage a great institution, but that she is not ready for the institution yet. When this age-long secret was revealed, fans who had always believed her rhetorics were shocked to the marrow as they got to learn that West had not only been secretly married to her vaudeville song and dance partner Frank Wallace, but their union had lasted for about 31 years. The marriage became public data sometime in 1935, when a clerk working with Milwaukee courthouse stumbled on Mae West's name while sorting card records of weddings. In case you don't understand the gravity of the ensuing scandal, Mae West was the highest earning talent in Hollywood with an alleged income of $480,000 by the standard of the era. Her movies were such a hit that critics thought of them as having saved Paramount Pictures from going bankrupt. The earliest report of the clerk's sudden discovery of the marriage details led to West issuing an angry statement denying ever saying "I do" to anyone. In that epic denial, West is quoted to have rhetorically asked, "Me, a Milwaukee bride? I never was in Milwaukee until about 4 years ago." West used the opportunity to hint how, within 4 months of the said marriage certificate report, she had been confronted by not lesser than 8 able men she never knew, all coming to claim, in her words, insisting they were married to me. In all indications she had declared that she was never married to Frank Wallace or anyone else. It is only a matter of time before the truth came out, as stakeholders embarked on a massive investigation to unravel the truth. Not too long after, facts began to emerge. The public got to hear how in 1911, while she was still incubating her vaudeville career, she and Wallace had played in Milwaukee. And before we could say Jack Robinson, the media caught up with the real Wallace, even as he hired a lawyer to follow up his case in court. What is he going to the law court to do? Of course, to prove to the public that he was the real Frank Wallace, and to establish the validity of the marriage. The storyline as put together by Wallace's lawyer is that a booking agent in 1916 had convinced the couple that West would have more career success if she was presented to her audience as a single lady. Wallace approved and signed an agreement to keep the marriage a secret. Sources said he changed his mind only after the marriage was accidentally discovered, and West openly denied ever knowing him, talked less of a marriage with him. Expectedly, the stage was set for a legal battle, and for those privy to the events that transpired, it was not an easy ride for both of them, as the case lingered for years until West decided to tell the court that she was married to him, but indicated that she was against any move to share her wealth with him. Sometime in the early 1940s, West and grey-haired Wallace probably settled their differences behind the scenes before appearing in court together. The outcome was that Wallace pulled out of his earlier request for $1,000 monthly upkeep and informed the court that he never wanted to start any legal case in the first place. "All I wanted to do was do my work," he was quoted. When she spoke, West told the court that they lived together for just weeks after the marriage, and asked the jury to grant a divorce verdict that would end the more than 3 decades of connubial. Though there was a strong indication that all was not well with the marriage in the first place, because it seems West started cheating on Wallace shortly after their union, and when her husband confronted her about it, she'd laughed over it as if she had not done anything wrong, and would tell him that it was an innocent fun. Wallace himself was so smitten by her charm that he preferred to live with her adulterous behaviour than lose her, but his trouble would continue because she did not even let her family members know about the marriage, and it does not look like she was willing to do so anyway. And for Mae West's secret, revealed only retrospectively, Watts elaborately explained that though no genealogical evidence accompanied the shocking claim, the ethnicity of West's patriarchal grandfather, who was a tough seafarer identified as John Edwin West, is harder to pinpoint than other 3 of her known European grandparents. Another theory put forward to buttress this point is that, considering West's childhood in the partly black and partly criminal gangland of Brooklyn, that still shows lots of primitive character, and her approval of black burlesque habits as she transformed from child star to teenage vaudevillian. The major focus of Watts' idea outside the known black dance shimmy is her characteristic pimp walk, which is an African-American comedic drill that suggests a subversive rhetorical device that uses multiple and conflicting messages to obscure rebellious meanings. This, of course, is evidenced in the rebellious nature of Mae West's acts, notably her caricatures of herself in many of her films. Previous interpretation did not account for a vital distinction, which is that black and white signification are distinct practices. Watts' argument would continue in a lengthy text about how the white and African Americans understood signifying. From Watt's logic, it seems West as a performer learned from her African-American inspirator, Bert Williams, about her use of black signifying rests in double-voicedness and encompasses innuendo, referencing also her double entendre, parody, pastiche, cajoling, rapping, boasting, insulting, and so on, was specific to her acts. All of which gave a clear clue that your legendary Mae West was a black lady. Critics believe that West's flamboyant nature revealed a miserably familiar path of erratic diva behaviour all through her career, leading to sad waning, especially with her self-confident sexuality and rebellious meandering, with no evidence about her numerous off-screen romances, which was said to be a more qualifying factor of her true ancestry than any DNA proof. Because we're just scratching the surface. There's a treasure trove of captivating stories and intriguing personalities waiting for you on our channel. Make sure not to miss our next video that delves into the enigmatic words of Corinne Calvert. I had his destiny between my legs.